Let's check in with the Tunnel Crew. Please give a warm welcome to X, Aggie P, Rooftop, TP, and Big T.
What's happening, everybody? I'm your man, Big T, and once again, it's time for At Home with the Crossover. And joining me as usual, the usual cast of characters, talking about none other than the man that's smiling, grinning from ear to ear, wearing the shades like he always does. Radar Charles is in the house. Radar, what's going on, man?
You know what, Big T, narrow is the way, and my blessings go out to TP while she is away.
There you go, brother. Appreciate that. Good looking out. Hey, and then we got our basketball expert, our basketball guru, Elon Legend, talking about none other than Bro Mel is in the house. Bro Mel, what's happening?
Hey, praise the Lord. Glad to be here again once with everybody. Praise the Lord.
There you go. Love it. Love it. Then we got the man that keeps us on track with the buffer music, in and out, breaks, make sure we're all lined up in the digital world. We talking about, he's got a Lakers hat on because he's a Lakers fan. He's got his Eagles quilt or blanket or whatever it is draped over his shoulders. He's also an Eagles fan. None other than Birdman is in the house. Bird, what's up?
I had a dream, Big T.
Oh, Lord.
I had a dream that the Demon Deacons in Roll Tide would be in the national championship. I had a dream.
Where's your Wake Forest gear?
You had a dream, all right.
And then repping that Aggies, got that NCAA plastered across his chest as usual.
Sir.
I don't think this man has ever come on the show without some Aggie gear on. We talking about the man that's named Aggie P. Aggie P is in the house. What's up, Aggie P?
Hey, brother, it's homecoming. Let's go. That's all I got to say.
It's
That's so
homecoming.
appropriate.
Here we go. It's homecoming, y'all. It's homecoming.
It's
Hey, and
homecoming.
together, we are the Tunnel Crew, watching everything that happens inside and outside the tunnel, leading to the lines of competition in the world of sports. And we begin this at-home live edition of the Crossover, like we always do, with our hot topics. It's the hottest stories of sports, may not be what everybody else is talking about, but it's the things we, the Tunnel Crew, want to talk about. And we begin with the NBA, because right now the NBA is scorching hot. Season kicked off last week, and everything is looking good. And we're going to start with the local team, local guys. We're talking about the Charlotte Hornets, who got off to a 3-0 start. Believe it or not, it's the first time in franchise history the guys have started 3-0. I mean, you stop and you think about that for a minute. It don't seem too hard to start 3-0, but apparently it is, because the Hornets been around a while, and that was big news. The Hornets starting 3-0. Well, that came crashing to a halt last night when they lost in overtime to the Boston Celtics. Your boys, Aggie P, took care of business, took down our boys. They lost in overtime to the Celtics, and 140-29, and so they're now 3-1. But a lot of stuff to think about here. You got Miles Bridges and last year's Rookie of the Year, LaMelo Ball, both averaging around 25 points. Miles Bridges 25, LaMelo 23 points. And then you got Gordon Hayward averaging 17 points a game, and then Kelly Oubre averaging 17 points a game. So the Hornets are getting a lot of production out of these guys in this 3-1 start. Bro Mel, you mentioned something in the pre-show about missing points, that are going to be coming back. And so let's real quick, let's discuss the Hornets. 3-1, like we said, 3-0 for the first time in history. Everybody impressed with the Hornets start and how they're looking so far?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm sort of impressed with at the start. I think they're still missing, like I said, Rozier is out, so that's 20 points on the board right there that you're missing.
Goodness, think about that.
Also, they still, I think they're playing well right now, but to go further where they need to go, they're going to have to get them a center that can stretch the court. That's going to be their biggest issue.
Need a big man.
Mm-hmm.
Disagree with Bro Mel, even though he's the resident basketball expert. I don't think they need a big man. I think they run a gun, get what they can, and keep shooting the lights out. AB, I see you shaking your head.
You got to have a big man. I mean,
At some point, right?
At some point, man, you got to have a big man in the middle, Radar. You know that.
Sometimes you go big man by committee.
And you can get a big man that can run the court, but right now they don't have that big man that can run the court and spread the court to play the ball that they're trying to play. Because they are trying to play a little bit more up tempo, and that's their game. And defense is their game as well. But if you look at the teams that's going to slow it down on them and go inside, they're going to kill them. You know, just like the first game, Plumlee was in foul trouble.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was in foul trouble because he couldn't handle the big man. And then you go to P.J. Washington, he ain't bigger than Plumlee. So, you know, that's the issue which you have there. But, you know, they play good defense. They play hard, you know, the whole game. So they made their runs in the fourth quarter, you know. So,
Bird, your thoughts?
I told my brother this yesterday. I congratulated him on the 3-0 start because he is a Hornets fan. I told him, and I made a bold prediction. I still stand by this prediction that the Hornets have enough to at least win and go to the playoffs and go far in the playoffs. I even told him, I said it might be them if they could get past the Bucks and if they could get past the Bulls. It might be them in the finals.
You asking a lot, brother.
Yeah.
hey, let's just get them in the playoffs and out of the first round first.
Thank you, Big T. The voice of reason.
Let's get them to the All-Star game. What about that?
Right. With a healthy team.
It's still early.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
It's early, guys.
But hey, y'all remember we were having this discussion a couple of weeks ago when the Panthers were 3-0, talking about the historic defense.
Exactly.
Boy, they've come crashing back down to earth.
Right,
So,
but you know, like you say, everybody is people getting hurt too. You know, you got to factor that in too.
That is true. That's true.
And that's happening with everybody. You look at some teams that you would expect to be in a certain level, and they're looking at them now like, oh man. But you look at the injury report, they got 9 starters out.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, and last night, even though the Hornets lost once again, Bridges and Ball, they both had 25 points last night. They accounted for 50, you know, of the Hornets 129 points. So, you know, I think the future's bright. A lot to look forward to. Congratulations on doing something that's never been done in franchise history.
You know why Bridges is playing, right?
Why?
Like he's playing. Hey, that contract is up.
That contract.
Yeah, that contract, baby. You gotta show out to keep that contract, or somebody else picks you up. That's why he's playing.
Hey, the Hornets either gonna have to pay or somebody else will, right?
Yeah.
There you go. All right, let's move on to Bird's team. The Lakers started 0-2. You know, got off to a rough start. They did finally win the first game, 1-2 now. But the story of the first 3 games to start the season was the little altercation on the sideline between AD and Dwight Howard. They got up at each other's face. Maybe it was about the top 75, the NBA 75. Maybe Dwight was like, "What you doing on the team?" And I'm not, you know. So any thoughts on the little altercation? They said they worked it out. They said they're good now. They're all good. Everything's been squashed. You know, they no bad feelings. But any thoughts on the little sideline altercation that went down?
What did your Uncle Birdman tell you at the beginning of this?
I
told y'all that we got too many egos on this team, and I was worried if Russell Westbrook and all them came to this team with all that ego foolishness, and look what happened. They can't get along. It took us long enough to win our first game. They can't get along.
Can't get along, man. Can't get along. And that's a Laker fan saying that now. Can't get along. Radar, you look like you had your hand raised. I know you want to say something.
Can I say this? AD turned around and looked at AD and looked at
Dwight
him and said, "You came here to play defense. Play defense, dog. Play defense." And then Dwight said, "What? Me? I mean, dude, I made LeBron. LeBron went through me to came up. And you just got a championship, bro. With him. Come on now. Don't act like that."
Yeah.
And he got mad at him. He told him, he said, "Nah, I'm not that guy." And AD said, "Yes, you are."
But hey, here's what was funny about it. So Dwight was sitting down, and like you're trying to stand up. AD put his hand in his chest, like, don't stand up, push him back down. I'm like, what in the world is going on here?
Hey, that don't look pretty, man.
It don't look good. I can get real mad at
not gonna
Aggie P,
fight.
but I'll
Yeah,
never
they're not
tell
gonna
him.
fight.
God,
No,
Get up.
they don't,
they're
they
not
don't
gonna
have
fight.
it in them.
I don't think they're gonna fight neither, but I guarantee you, Anthony Davis ain't gonna get no passes from him.
But you know what? I think it's more so a frustration because you got to think we were down in that particular game, and they were frustrated because they had their egos. They had all that on paper, and they couldn't transition well into the court. And if you look at it right now, we're 1-2. Now everything's starting to click because we got more time to practice and more time to gel with each other, and that's what I think happened to cause that little altercation.
Wait, didn't they practice about a month or so?
Hey, there was crickets there. Bird just got a little quiet.
I mean, it's you're right, bro Mel, you're right. But at the same time, you look at teams like the Lakers that take them a while to gel in real game situations. I mean, you got LeBron, you got Anthony Davis, you got all these big names. Yeah, they practice during the off season. Yeah, they practice a month out, but still, you got all that competition. The healthy teams, like we come out the gate with the Warriors, and we went up in there taking the Warriors for granted. We did because we forgot about Klay Thompson. We forgot about all the healthy players coming back. And then the second game rolls around. We thinking it's the same Suns, and they're gonna fall off because they lost that finals series to the Bucks.
Yeah,
but I do think Dwight's going to light a fire under AD because he know he can't get hurt with him around because that means he'll step up in there and play ball. And Giannis gave him the blueprint, play around the rim.
Yeah, you have to realize this too that both of them played together when he was there with the Lakers at the beginning. This is not his first time back with the Lakers.
That's right.
So it has to be something that either they are planning to do in the game as far as the strategy is concerned, and either Dwight didn't do what he's supposed to have done, and AD tried to call him out. And that's probably what done happened,
Are you guys talking about Dwight Howard?
Yeah.
Playing ball. Okay.
He ain't gonna do nothing but get rebounds. He'll get rebounds and dunks.
Okay.
I know where Aggie P gonna stand on the question.
I'm sitting here with a question mark on my head, like Dwight Howard.
I agree with you, Aggie P. But the thing is, Dwight Howard came along right before LeBron came up, and he went to the finals against Kobe and lost. But he held himself in a certain stature just because he did that.
Hey, real quick. Couple of surprises. The Bulls right now are have the best record in the NBA. They're 4-0 and they looking great. I mean, Chicago looks like the real deal. And Golden State is 3-0. We just talked about them beating the Lakers. The other night, Steph Curry goes for 25 in the first quarter, finished with, I think, 49 in the game or 45 in the game. And so they're 3-0. They're looking great. Right now, the season's off to a good start, and I think that, it's going to be an interesting year. It's going to be a very interesting year. When we come back, we're going to talk more about the NBA because, like we said, with the Warriors being 3-0, that's fantastic, but there's some more stuff out there for them that's going to make them even better. And we'll discuss that and more on the other side of the break. You're listening to At Home with the Crossover.
Why so sad when the joy is here? What's the answer? Joy in the morning, the crossover. You can find them all right here on 100.7 WLJF. There's no need to be down when there's plenty of joy to go around. Get your daily dose and turn that frown upside down. Love and Faith Radio, 100.7 WLJF, the joy.
My name is Priscilla Band. I'm with Hometown Insurance Service. I'm an independent insurance agent that specializes in Medicare, senior solutions, life, and health. I work with dozens of companies so that I can offer you the appropriate coverage as well as the affordable price for your insurance needs. If I can help you, please contact me at my website, hometowninsuranceservice.com, or email me at hometown.inservice, or you can find me on Facebook, at Hometown Insurance Service. Thank you.
Times are changing. We all have questions about the future. Join us as we find the answers through the Word of God.
Love and Faith Christian Fellowship invites you to join our congregation. One church, two locations, Greensboro and Kernersville.
We're helping people on their path to find God as we provide spiritual leadership and growth through diverse ministry.
Celebrating over 25 years of ministry. Join our Love and Faith community where Jesus Christ is Lord and the people are loved.
All right, welcome back to At Home with the Crossover, and you can catch this live at-home version of the show every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. You can do that on YouTube by going to the Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. Once you get there, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Tell all your friends about it and tune in every week, 7 p.m. Tuesday night live. Then on Thursday nights at 7 p.m., you can catch the original audio version of the Crossover Sports Show on its original day and time. That's 7 p.m. on online at WLJFradio.com. You can also download the WLJF app, which is available both on Google Play and in the iTunes Store. And that's every Thursday night at 7 p.m. for the audio version, the original Crossover Sports Show. All right, let's get back into the hot topics right quick. And like we said before the break, the Golden State Warriors are 3-0, and they're going to get some help at some point because a lot of people don't realize that Klay Thompson's still not back. Klay, he missed the last two seasons. I think the 2019 season he missed with a ACL tear, and then he missed the 2020 season with an Achilles. And so he's expected to be back probably around Christmas Day, they said, for their Christmas Day game. They're part of that 5-game Christmas Day, extravaganza. And he's supposed to be back then. That's going to give the Warriors an even bigger boost. With them being 3-0 without him, Golden State could be a difficult team to deal with. Speaking of Klay Thompson, the NBA all-time 75 team was released this week, which, they had the top 50 years ago, 25 years ago to be exact. And that included Jordan and the guys like Jordan and Kobe and Shaq and, George Iceman Gervin and, Jerry West and all those guys. We're not going to name the whole list, because we'll leave somebody out, but it included all the greats. And so 25 years later, they added 25 guys to the list, to the team. And actually it's 26 because they had a tie for two of the guys. Well, one of the big talks has been Klay Thompson being left off. He was making light of that the other day, walking around the Warriors locker room with the number 77 jersey on. And when his teammates asked him what that was all about, he said, "Hey, I'm the 77th best player in the NBA, because they've got 76 for this 75 team. And so he said that makes him the 77th best player. I don't know about y'all, but I've never liked a guy, like Ocho Cinco putting on the Hall of Fame jacket, never liked the guy tooting their own horn when it comes to things like this. I'm not, okay, I don't have too much of a problem with you saying, hey, I'm good and this, that, and other when it comes to just regular on the field players. But when it comes to cementing your legacy as an all-time great, let others call you that, I mean, y'all have a problem with Klay Thompson saying I'm the 77th best player?
Yeah, I have a problem with him saying that because it's, if you got other players can say the same thing that he's saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's basically the body of work. Looking at that, you got some of the, you got two right now that should have been on there that's, is not on there. I would think if people know Bob McAdoo, he should have been on there. He led the NBA in scoring, and, on the worst team. And he had a stellar career with, in the NBA. And, that's one just to throw out. And like I said, Dominique Wilkins, he should be on there.
Yeah.
So that's two right there. But everybody can have that same opinion of themselves. You gotta have a positive attitude about yourself. That doesn't mean what you believe is really accurate.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anybody else?
I don't have a problem with it.
You don't have a problem with it?
Uh-oh.
Oh,
No, I don't
wow.
because this guy shows out every time he plays. He shows out. He tried to tell y'all, look, I'm the best player when it comes to this game. When it comes to this sport, I'm the best player, and I'm going to show my part as one half of the Splash Brothers. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to go and put up all these points just to show y'all why I can say that.
Yeah.
Okay, Birdman, how long have you been in the NBA? How long have you been in the NBA?
Just saying. I mean, look, you can't argue with the stats.
No, I'm not.
What has been about 7 years, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Radolph.
Let me take care of your light work for you, Romeo. Uncle Birdman.
Oh Lord.
That guy that you're speaking of, he's not that accomplished. Sometimes people let the outside of the game influence how much of an effect they have on the inside of the game, and they don't. Because to Bromel's point, certain players come in and they change the way they have to play, like Steph Curry. And I would only accept what Clay took because Clay's never got an MVP vote, and he's always played behind Steph, Draymond, and then KD, and he didn't really say nothing, if anything. And that this whole time he's been hurt, he's never grabbed for the spotlight or asked for anybody to say, hey, I'm still here. None of that. Because he said, when I get ready and I get back out there, I'm going to let my play do the talking.
Or maybe Clay is looking at it from a championship standpoint. How many championships does he have?
He's got 3, yeah.
He's got 3. And, I mean, it all depends on what we're looking at in each one of these players to make this list. And you talk about a man that has 3 and he contribute to those 3.
Yeah, he's a big contributor.
Yeah, big contributor. So in his mind, he's probably a little hurt, and he did the jacket. I mean, not the jacket. That was Ocho Cinco.
The jersey.
He did the jersey to kind of, make a joke about it, probably to help his own feelings of not making the team. I mean, not making the list. So, I mean, 3 championships. He has a right.
Yeah.
To feel that way.
I think the criteria, and I haven't really read up on it, but I think it's the impact that they have made on the NBA. That, I'm looking at it in that standpoint of the impact, all these guys that they have on, what impact have they made on the NBA? Yes, he has 3 championships. He's a good shooter. I'm not saying he won't get there, but the point is that, I'm thinking they're looking at the impact of what that player has, the impact of the NBA that they have made, with the sport itself. And that's basically like your Hall of Fame, football, same thing. That impact that those guys made.
Because Kawhi Leonard played on there.
What about Daryl Dawkins? He's not on there, right?
He's not on there. But
look at
they
the
got
impact
Kawhi
he
Leonard on
made
there.
to change the way you build a backboard.
That's right.
I'm sorry, guys. I just
you make a good point.
Okay, now and stuff, man. I just thought that was great at that time,
All right, well, listen up. We're gonna get into this more in our question today, so I want y'all to save the juicy stuff because we started. I know we gotta save it. I'm gonna leave us with this before we move on to the NFL. The people that the most that are getting the most love as far as people saying they got snubbed: Dwight Howard, Klay Thompson, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, and then there's even a little bit of rumbling for Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, those guys. But in that order, it's really been Dwight Howard, number 1, Klay Thompson, number 2, Tracy McGrady, 3, and Vince Carter, number 4. Those are the guys that everybody's like, how can you leave them off? So we'll talk about that a little bit more. That's what you call a teaser. We'll talk about that a little bit more in our question of the day, but we're going to move on for right now to the NFL, and the Cincinnati Bengals are for real. I mean, the Bengals are now 5-2 after smacking the hottest team in the AFC. The Ravens had won 5 games in a row and were looking like world beaters. And in-roll Cincinnati into Baltimore on Sunday. And all they did was Joe Burrow come out there and throw for 416 yards, 3 touchdowns. And then that rookie, Jamar Chase, 8 catches for 200 yards. 8 for 200, and he goes for an 82-yard touchdown in the game. We've already talked about the Bengals a couple of weeks ago and how good their defense is and how well they're playing. Now it looks like the offense is starting to rev it up. And the Bengals are 5-2. They're on top of the AFC North division. Hey, the Bengals, are y'all buying the Bengals as one of the best teams in the AFC after what they did?
Sure.
Sure.
This week, I mean, this week, Big T. You remember last week I was all on the Ravens.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson this. I was saying Lamar Jackson that. I mean, you had that big game. But any given Sunday, man, anybody can step. Look, my Giants beat the Panthers.
25-3. Y'all put it on the Panthers.
Come on now. I mean, and we were just a couple weeks ago talking about, this Panthers defense is pretty stout. And you let my boys put that many points. So, I mean, Big T, we go from week to week, but to answer your questions for this week, hey, the Bengals are looking good.
Yeah, they do.
They are contenders.
Yeah.
And you're right, Agape, it is week to week because, week to week, never know what may go on. And with the Bengals, they've been, like I said, the defense has been consistent. It's just the offense starting to roll.
Yeah.
And you got to realize two or three people on offense or defense can change the whole dynamics of that team. And people don't look at that, because I'm saying, like you said, we were talking about the Panthers, but when you lost Horn, when you had shut down corners and you can play man to man, you can do the blitzing and stuff. But once that happened, hey man, they couldn't play man to man no more. They had to go to zone.
You also lost Christian McCaffrey, so that hurts the offense, And as a result of that, Sam Darnold gets benched, because he got benched on Sunday. He got
pulled before then, I'm just saying decision making. That's what I'm looking at. Not a good player, but the decision making that he have made have really hurt them, and the defense been out on the field 90% of the time.
That's right. Hey, and so just running down a couple of these scores from the NFL, because we don't run out of time here. Patriots, man, 54 points on the Jets. Hey, biggest beatdown of the season so far. They won by 41 points. Now, I know it's just the Jets, but New England don't look like an offensive juggernaut, putting up 54 points. That's pretty impressive. And then the Chiefs, man, the struggles continue with the Chiefs. They got smoked 27-3. I mean, didn't even sniff the end zone. Mahomes has had 3 of his worst quarterback ratings of his career. 3 out of the 5 worst quarterback ratings he's had have come in this season. Okay? So it's almost like the Buccaneers showed everybody the blueprint to how to stop him. And now it's a copycat league. But here's what's funny to me, y'all. Because you talk about Captain Obvious, okay? So somebody was saying that, well, what they've done is teams have figured out take away the big play. So they're doubling Tyreek Hill and they're making them be patient. I said, that's not rocket science. Why has it taken this long for people to say, oh, that's all we got to do? I guess because they saw the Bucs do it. Maybe they didn't think they could do it until they saw Tampa Bay do it. And so now they're in all kind of hurt. I mean, the Chiefs are struggling. Titans, on the other hand, though, like we said, along with the Bengals, 5-2, have had a couple of impressive wins back-to-back, beating the Bills, and now the Chiefs. And then you got the Cardinals, who are 7-0. They're the only undefeated team left after beating the Texans, 31-5. Brady threw for his 600th career touchdown in a 38-3 beatdown of the Bears. And he threw 4 touchdowns in that game. Speaking of the Texans, going back to them, Deshaun Watson and the Panthers, we're going to bring them into it. Deshaun Watson, still out there. Trade talks are hot. The trade deadline is coming up this coming Tuesday, a week from today. And the Panthers, everybody's been talking about my Dolphins. They've been the top team. Everybody's saying he's going to. But now the Panthers are in that mix. Everybody's starting to bring them in there because of Darnold's struggles. Do you guys think the Panthers should take the risk? I'm going to tell you, my Dolphins, I don't want them to do it. Because, it would be so Miami to give away Tua, get this guy, and then he gets thrown in jail. And you've given away 3 number 1 picks and 2 number 2s, and now you don't even have a quarterback. Should the Panthers go after Deshaun Watson?
Well, I tell you what Tepper said. Tepper said you have to have a quarterback, to make it to that level. And I guess what he's seen with Donaldson in the last 4 weeks, he's probably questioning a little bit. But to answer your question, it wouldn't be a bad move. I'm not saying, they can't do no worse than what they're doing now. I'm talking about decision making and what they bring to the table.
But what about everything they'd have to give up to get it?
Well, you got to look at it anyway. They trade away picks to get more picks. Anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not going to hurt them. If you see they roster change almost every week. That's what I was trying to say. Their roster change, man. They try to fit in those pieces to make them go.
Hey,
I think you were going to say something.
Real quick.
Real quick, yes or no answer. Aggie P, should they make the move?
If they get McCaffrey back. They need a running game.
Okay. Birdman.
Be one-dimensional, yes.
Okay. Birdman.
Yes, they should. Again, to Aggie P's point.
Okay. Radar.
Yes, and trade McCaffrey.
Oh!
All right, everybody. Be sure to catch this live at home edition of the Crossover every Tuesday night on YouTube, 7 p.m. You can go to the Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe once you get there. And then on Thursday night, catch the audio version of the original Crossover Sports Show online at WLJFradio.com. You can also download the 100.7 WLJF app, which is available both on Google Play and in the iTunes Store. When we come back, we're going to wrap up our hot topics, and we're going to jump into the question of the day.
Why so sad when the joy is here? What's the answer? Joy in the morning, the crossover. You can find them all right here on 100.7 WLJF. There's no need to be down when there's plenty of joy to go around. Get your daily dose and turn that frown upside down. Love and Faith Radio, 100.7 WLJF, the joy.
My name is Priscilla Van. I'm with Hometown Insurance Service. I'm an independent insurance agent that specializes in Medicare, senior solutions, life, and health. I work with dozens of companies so that I can offer you the appropriate coverage as well as the affordable price for your insurance needs. If I can help you, please contact me at my website, hometowninsuranceservice.com, or email me at hometown.inservice, or you can find me on Facebook at Hometown Insurance Service. Thank you.
Times are changing. We all have questions about the future. Join us as we find the answers through the Word of God.
Love and Faith Christian Fellowship invites you to join our congregation. 1 church, 2 locations, Greensboro and Kernersville.
We're helping people on their path to find God as we provide spiritual leadership and growth through diverse ministry.
Celebrating over 25 years of ministry. Join our Love and Faith community where Jesus Christ is Lord and the people are loved.
All right, welcome back to At Home with the Crossover. Be sure to catch this live at home version of the show every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. live on YouTube. Go to the Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. Once you get there, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Tell all your friends about it. Watch it every week. Then on Thursday nights at 7 p.m., catch the audio version of the original Crossover Sports Show at its original day and time, Thursdays at 7 p.m. You can find that online at WLJFradio.com. And you can also download the Love and Faith 100.7 WLJF app, which is available both on Google Play and in the iTunes Store. And that's 7 p.m. on Thursday nights. All right, wrapping up our hot topics. We're not going to take too long because we want to leave as much time as we can for the question of the day. Close to home, college football, Wake Forest, Demon Deacons, Birdman, I know you're happy. They're 7-0 after dropping 7-0 on Army, beating Army 70-56. The only thing about that game is the defense giving up 56 points to a option team. That was kind of embarrassing, but hey, you got the win 7-0. And we've seen Wake Forest this year so far. They've had games where they've outscored people. We know one thing's for sure, they can score points. Bird, we're going to let you lead off on this. What do you think about the Deacons 7-0 start?
Okay, so the defense is a little bit shaky,
A little bit shaky.
But
let's just get that out the way, right? Bird?
That offense can score points. Now, as for the game, they were saying, the announcers were saying that we beat actually the top ranked defense in the nation. I think that's what they were saying, and I was like, how did we beat a top ranked nation defense? They weren't even ranked. I don't even know why, but I looked into it, and they actually were ranked in the top 10. I'm like, oh, okay, well, congratulations. But we need to work on that defense if I want my dream to come true.
Yeah,
pretty much, yeah.
I got to say pretty much, hey.
Pretty much. But hey, I'm happy for them, dog.
Yeah, I'm happy for them too.
Hey, and the schedule looks, they got a road game against Clemson, and they got to play Carolina. Is that at Chapel Hill?
I think that's at Wake Forest.
At Wake Forest. Okay. So there is a chance they might be able to run the table, and if they
no sir, not with that defense. That coordinator should have got fired.
Listen, Radar, you do realize that if we lose to y'all, we still locked our place in the ACC championship. You do know that, right?
My nephew's flag football team could have scored on Wake Forest Saturday.
But look, we can lose all our games.
It was Vic and McCaffrey back there. Like they couldn't make up their mind.
For Radar, we can lose all our games and still be in the ACC championship.
Okay, hey, you mark my words. Watch the guy for Clemson have 300 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns, and a Heisman candidate now. Watch what you do to Clemson.
Hey, okay, so let's move on. Let's jump into our question of the day here. Just wanted to make sure that we gave Bird's Wake Forest team some love there. All right, question of the day. So we talked a little bit earlier about the NBA releasing their NBA All 75 team. They had already released the All 50 team, and this is just adding 25 guys. Of course, like we said, it turned out to be 26 because they had a tie. And there's been a lot of debate, a lot of discussion about this All 75 team. First of all, a lot of people were disappointed that they kept the original top 50. But you can't, those guys, if those guys were all-time greats when you put that list out, then you can't all of a sudden say, well, 25 years, some guys have supplanted them. It doesn't work like that. You can't just remove them. So I don't have a problem with them keeping the original 75 there. But a lot of people, like we said before the break, a lot of people are upset about these guys in particular. Dwight Howard, Klay Thompson, like we said, Tracy McGrady caught a lot of love. Why aren't you on the list? Vince Carter and all that stuff. The person I looked at that I didn't realize was as accomplished as they are is Dwight Howard. Okay. Mm-hmm. Let me show you some of his numbers. 8-time All-Star, 8-time All-NBA, Defensive Player of the Year 3 times, leads all active players in blocks and rebounds, and finished in the top 5 in MVP voting 4 times. Led his team to the finals, where they lost to the Lakers. And just to throw this in for fun, he won the slam dunk contest with a Superman cape on. But seriously, all jokes aside, a lot of people have been saying, how can Anthony Davis be on the list and Dwight Howard not? And I have to say, I agree with that. It's hard for me to imagine AD being on there if you're not going to put Dwight Howard on. Okay, so here we go.
Oh, that's probably why they was scrubbing.
That's why I said in the beginning. I said it was all about, why am I on? Why you on and I'm not?
It might be.
All right. So the question of the day is this: Tunnel Crew, we want your thoughts on the NBA 75. Do you agree with it? Would you change anything? Would you take somebody off? Would you put somebody on? Or do you agree with everybody who's saying, how can Dwight Howard not be on the list? It's too much for us to go into everybody that's on it. So if you want to, mention somebody that's on it or mention somebody that you would remove, that's fine. We're not going to go through the whole list, but we're going to throw that out there as the question of the day. Your thoughts on it. Do you like it? Do you agree with it? Would you change anything? Would you leave it the same? If you took somebody off, who would you replace them with? And we'll start with Bromell, our basketball aficionado.
Well, I would, like you said, I would put Dwight Howard on there. I put him on there, regardless of who you take off. Like I said, he had made a major impact in the NBA and still playing.
Yeah.
He's still playing. You got to realize he came out of high school.
That's right.
So he's been in the league for a long time. I can consider Tracy McGrady as well.
Yeah.
But like I said with Klay Thompson, I just feel like the impact. He will make a lasting impact when he's finished.
Yeah.
But I don't right now just putting that out that I wouldn't put him on there. It's like I said, it's a couple of other guys that should be on there too. Like I said, Ball McAdoo and Dominic Wilkins, they should be on there. I think some of the younger players on there that shouldn't be on there, because they haven't been established. And I think it's a different criteria. I think people are looking at the numbers. I'm talking about numbers with how many points they scored and but that impact, one championship ain't gonna make no impact. You know what I'm saying? But that's just hearsay. But everybody can say somebody don't need to, is not deserved to be on there. But if they was nominated, they would deserve.
Yeah. Well, and there's some controversy because Dame Lillard made it, and you got guys like Derrick Rose didn't make it. And on the list, there are only two guys who have won the MVP who didn't make it. One of them's too young, Joker. Djokovic, he just won the MVP last year. He's too young to be on there. Derrick Rose, a lot of people are like, how could he not be on there? And they're blaming the injuries and all that stuff, short career and everything. But, a lot of people are disappointed. Ginobili didn't make it. Tony Parker didn't make it. Paul Gasol didn't make it, and you got guys like Dame Lillard on there. Kyrie Irving didn't make it, but you got Steph Curry made it. Of course, nobody's gonna argue with Steph Curry. Giannis made it. Kawhi made it. CP3 made it. Westbrook is on the list. A lot of people like Westbrook. What is he doing on the list? Dame Lillard. What is he doing on the list? So, crew, go ahead.
Longevity. That's what I'm just saying. Out of those, what you just now, listed, some of them is longevity. Some of them ain't been in the league long enough. So it's be interesting to know, okay, what criteria that they was looking at.
Yeah.
To pull those guys out of there. That's gonna be interesting to me.
Yeah.
Big T, I'm thinking, I don't know, just to name the people you name.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's a matter of branding and marketing.
Yeah.
Like you guys just enlightened me about Dwight Howard. I think he's garbage.
Yeah.
What
you didn't realize.
I'm like, he should be on the list.
Yeah. You're like me. I didn't know he was that accomplished.
Me either.
He did that early in his career, though. That's everybody's getting the old man Dwight Howard right now.
Yeah.
Right. and a lot of these guys,
support too.
They always,
Orlando.
They always in the limelight, or like look through some magazines. They even walking through in fashion and different stuff. So I'm thinking, social media, marketing, and a lot of that is helping people to choose this list. Because they forget about the old days of the Detroit Pistons.
Right.
Some of those guys. The Houston Rockets. Is Akeem Olajuwon on there?
Yeah, he's on the list.
Oh, okay.
Like you said, Joe Dumars. Joe Dumars.
Yeah,
you look at Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
He led
he's not on the
rebound.
list.
He's not in there.
Somebody said take Rodman off and put Howard on, and I said what?
Yeah, Rodman did make it, I believe. Rodman is on there, but like you know, okay, I've heard people say take this person off or take that person off, blah blah blah. I think that, like for instance, AD. I think if you're gonna have AD on there, and he and Dwight Howard teammates, we talked about them having a little scuffle. You know, if you're gonna have him on there, you know, because Dwight is way more accomplished than him. You know, way more accomplished. I don't understand how you're gonna have him on there and you're not gonna have Dwight on the list.
But if we're just sitting around talking, say we're not on the show,
we're
talking about the Lakers, you know, which one of those two we're going to talk about first?
Oh yeah, of course. Now we're going to say,
yeah, but that's what I think. That's why it happened. Just like I just said, the marketing and just who we see in our mind when we think about the Lakers and the superstars and all of that. Because like I said, and I said again, you guys just enlightened me on Dwight Howard. I had no clue.
Yeah, because
you're right, Aggie, you're right. The social media has a lot to do with that too. You know, because a lot of these other players I've never seen before.
Yeah,
you know.
AD came out of Kentucky.
Right.
Then he had the unibrow thing. He was losing, getting the brakes beat off of him in New Orleans, and everybody felt sorry for him. He a bad big man, and then they said he's the next one up after LeBron. So if ESPN is giving you that push, and you get with LeBron and you win one championship, you on the 75 list, sir. Kyrie would have been on there if he acted right.
Thank you.
He lost his vote.
But hey, and now when it comes to Kyrie, I know we like to have fun at his expense and everything, but I'm gonna say, and I'm nothing against Dame. Dame is amazing player, but I don't know how you can have Dame on there before you have Kyrie. You know, I mean, let's be honest. Kyrie has won a championship and was a big part of why they won that championship. In fact, I'd say they didn't win it without it. And Dame hasn't won a championship. Dame's put up huge numbers, yes, but you know, Kyrie and like back to Bromel's point, we don't know the criteria. You know, is it championships? Is it your impact on a championship team? Because obviously Dame hasn't had it. You know, I mean.
And you're right. You got some guys on teams that they're not doing well and you never heard of, but they, you know, they're great players. They, you know, they made impact. But like I said, Damian, he just, you know, he's a good shooter. He's scoring a lot of points. But hey, Portland, how many people going to look at people playing for Portland?
Kawhi and AD should give up their spots just because of the games that they've missed. Alone.
Well, and I was surprised to see that Kawhi made the list. I really was. I mean, Kawhi is a great player, but you're talking about the all times. Okay, let me just do this. If I just said if I name a player on the list, your first thought to come to mind. If I say Kawhi Leonard, is your first thought he's one of the 75 best players of all time?
No.
There's a lot of hesitation by the tunnel crew there, you know?
Well, I mean,
I'm thinking about the backlash.
On the criteria. He got a championship, right?
Yeah, he does. Yeah. He does.
Okay.
Well, he's got 2 championships.
Oh,
he got one with the Spurs. So that puts him in.
And he beat LeBron, and then he beat the KD-less Warriors, which is still a feat. So people would treat you like you just said Jordan wasn't the GOAT if you said that about Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
And then he was on social media with his laugh. You know, they was joking about
it. Oh, yeah, they were. Yeah.
I mean, it's so much, man, they can go into, you know, what come to people's mind when they think of individual.
Yeah.
You know, it just, hey.
Bird, your thoughts.
Just the world we live in.
That's right. That's right, Aggie P. Bird, your thoughts.
I would take, and this is not a crack on radar like I do all the time with his Greek freak, take him off the list because one championship and all those stat lines, he's still young. He hasn't proven himself enough to be on this list. I take him out for Dwight Howard because all the previous reasons that you and the rest of the tunnel crew had
2
mentioned.
MVPs.
Oh man, he said he would pull Giannis off.
No, he's too young. I mean, everybody's looking at that one championship, big deal. Big deal.
Wow.
1 championship. Wow.
Cool, Giannis. Okay.
Continue to do something with
You're a
yourself.
hard man.
Yeah, he is.
Uncle Birdman. You a hard man, Uncle Birdman.
Hey, everybody, be sure to catch this live at home edition of the Crossover every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. You can do that on YouTube. Go to the Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. Be sure to like, share, subscribe once you get there. And then on Thursday nights at 7 p.m., catch the audio version of the original Crossover Sports Show. And you can find that online at WLJFradio.com. You can also find it on the WLJF app, which is available both on Google Play and in the iTunes Store. When we come back, it's time for the wrap-up.
Why so sad when the joy is here? What's the answer? Joy in the morning, the crossover. You can find them all right here on 100.7 WLJF. There's no need to be down when there's plenty of joy to go around. Get your daily dose and turn that frown upside down. Love and Faith Radio, 100.7 WLJF, the joy.
My name is Priscilla Van. I'm with Hometown Insurance Service. I'm an independent insurance agent that specializes in Medicare, senior solutions, life, and health. I work with dozens of companies so that I can offer you the appropriate coverage as well as the affordable price for your insurance needs. If I can help you, please contact me at my website, hometowninsuranceservice.com, or email me at hometown.inservice, or you can find me on Facebook at Hometown Insurance Service. Thank you.
Times are changing. We all have questions about the future. Join us as we find the answers through the Word of God.
Love and Faith Christian Fellowship invites you to join our congregation. 1 church, 2 locations, Greensboro and Kernersville.
We're helping people on their path to find God as we provide spiritual leadership and growth through diverse ministry.
Celebrating over 25 years of ministry. Join our Love and Faith community where Jesus Christ is Lord and the people are loved.
It's time now for the Crossover Wrap-Up Report. Let's send it back to the Tunnel Crew.
All right, welcome back to At Home with the Crossover, and it's time for our wrap-up section where we have picks and games and all that stuff. We point out the Tunnel Crew's record and all of that good stuff. So let's go ahead and jump into it. And let's start with last week's results. Oh, man, nice graphic. I love it. I love it. So last week looks like this. Bromel is on top. Bromel went 4-0 last week. And in fact, Bromel has gone 7-1 the last 2 weeks. He went 3-1 last week. So he's on fire right now. Yeah, we need the flames behind him like they do on
look
Round the
that
Horn.
smile on his face, Big T. Look at that grin on his face.
Hey, that's listening to the Holy Spirit right there.
There you go. I like it. Then TP came in second at 3-1. And we got a log jam at third. The rest of the Tunnel Crew, we all sitting there at 2-2. All those smiles on our faces, 2-2.
I got company down in the bottom, Big T.
Lamar Jackson.
There you go. All right, let's look at the records here, the overall records, overall standings for the season. I'm on top with 130 wins. Aggie P is next with 118 wins. Birdman has 116 wins. Stats is fourth with 115 wins. Radar, remember when Radar was in second place several weeks ago? I mean, he was doing pretty good. He's falling to fifth.
We're not living in the past, Big T. We're not living in the past.
111 wins for Radar. TP has got 107 wins. And Bromel is moving up rapidly with 104 wins. All right, let's move on to the games for this week. And the games we have to pick this week are, everybody has to pick their World Series winner because the World Series, Stats is not here, but the World Series, his favorite sport, starts tonight at 8 o'clock. Everybody had to pick their winner for that. And then Michigan State, that's a battle of top 10 teams, both 7-0. We all had to pick that one. And then any other two games out of the rest of the picks, which look like this. We got the NBA, the Nuggets at 2-1 playing at the 2-0 Jazz. And then the Thursday night football game's a big one. The 6-1 Packers at the 7-0 Cardinals. Hey, Grimsley High School whooped up on Page last week to go 9-0. They're on the road at Northern Guilford, who is 9-0. So that's going to be a big game Friday night. Then, of course, we already mentioned number 6 Michigan at number 8 Michigan State. They're both 7-0. And number 10 Ole Miss at 6-1 at number 18 Auburn, who is 5-2. And I'm going to go ahead and get stats out the way here. Stats picked the Atlanta Braves to win the World Series, took the Arizona Cardinals over the Packers, Michigan State over Michigan, and Auburn over Ole Miss. And TP, go ahead and get hers. She got the Houston Astros winning the World Series, the Nuggets over the Jazz, the Packers over the Cardinals, and Michigan State over Michigan. Let's go ahead and go with Aggie P right quick.
Yes, sir. I went with the Braves, the Cardinals, Grimsley, and Michigan.
All right. Radar.
All right. I went with the Braves, the Packers, unlike Aggie P, and I went with Grimsley, and I went with Michigan. I'm gonna match them up with that one. I'm gonna match it up.
All right, Birdman.
I went with the Braves, Jazz, the Cardinals, and MSU.
Okay, and Bromell.
Okay, I got the Braves, the Packers, Grimsley, and I'm going with Michigan State. They got a new coach there. He's turning heads.
All right, getting it done. And that just leaves me. I've got the Astros, the Packers, Grimsley, and Michigan State. So I was going to change that Packers when I heard Devontae Adams might be out, but he might play too. So I'm going to go ahead and have faith and believe that he will line up and play Thursday night.
And I'm going to have faith that he does not. Your brother need to rest.
They need to rest.
Don't want nothing to happen to him. Just go rest somewhere.
Aggie P, you drew that out for Jesus.
Right.
I pray that he will be able to play.
I pray that he'll be able to play. All right, well, let's go ahead and go with our either shut up and play candidates or shout outs. And we'll start with Radar.
You know what? I would love to take this moment to give a shout out to TP and her family in this time. They're going through some things, and I just like to keep her in our thoughts and prayers.
There you go. Good shout out, man. Good shout out. Bromell.
Yeah, I just want to shout out to my Elon Phoenix, man. We don't want the last 3 out of 4 games. We're in 4th place. We 3-1 in the conference, and so we feel like things are moving up a little bit down there at Elon.
All right. Yeah, I saw that game on TV Saturday. I was like, oh, man, look at Elon out there getting it done. Bird.
All right, shut up and play goes to my Eagles. I don't care about our record. Just shut up and play. Otherwise, somebody getting fired.
Yeah, the Raiders, man, they beat the Eagles on Sunday. Yeah.
Beat the brakes off of them.
All right, Aggie P.
Hey, my shout out go to my Aggies. It's coming to town. Let's enjoy this homecoming. Everybody be safe, praying for safety for everybody.
Yeah.
There you go. Good job. All right, my shout out is to the Canes, man. Carolina Hurricanes off to a 5-0 start. Looking good. So we'll see if they can keep it going. All right, for Radar.
Narrows the way.
For Bromell.
Hey, God bless everyone. Glad for the show tonight.
There you go. For Birdman. For Aggie P.
No weapon.
I'm your man, Big T, signing off and saying, no matter where y'all, look up and know that your creator is there. Until next time, see ya, and we might want to be you.
So be sure to join us next week for the crossover. And remember, the Tunnel Crew don't play unless we have something to say.